It's the Empowerment Perspective Podcast, hosted by Demiso Josie and Mr. Kareem Spence. Stay empowered. Stay empowered.
All right, welcome to yet another episode of the Empowerment Perspective Podcast. I go by the name of Demiso Josie alongside
Spencer's here.
And
Stacey Sanderson Dick.
Well. The whole crew is here finally. Mm-hmm. How was everyone's Valentine's Day?
I was at a basketball game.
That's very romantic.
It is, isn't it?
What'd you do, sir?
I was actually on the computer doing work.
Am I the only one that actually went out for Valentine's Day?
It's a bad week.
Bad week? What do you mean?
Because it's on Thursday. You can't do anything on Thursday. And you got to go to work next day?
Well, I had to hook up because we had a professional development day the next. It was a wellness day, too. So I had massages and all that other stuff at work.
Okay.
So they treated me right over there. I don't know what they doing.
Did they really treat you right?
Yeah, they did. Because I got like 4 or 5 massages for free. can't be mad at that whatsoever. But took my wife out and kids out to Terra Nova. We haven't been there in a while. And I had to show my daughters how to be, be on a date. Pull out the chair.
Isn't that a test?
Is it?
Yeah, it's a test.
It is.
Are you sure? It's the name of standardized test.
I felt like I was on a test when I was on this date. That's what I felt like. But, I had to pull the chair out, and take the coat off and all that stuff. And I found out. Huh?
You put a tie on?
Well, I came from work, so I already had the red tie on. So,
okay. Right.
It was already set up that way. But I pulled out the chair and everything, and it actually worked. They actually act like ladies instead of me having to tell them to sit down and shut up every 5 minutes. So maybe every time I take them out to dinner, I need to prove and open the door and everything like that. So,
I did research on Valentine's
Day. You did?
When I was at work, yes. And what I realized is that men don't get really good gifts at all.
It's a female holiday.
Wasn't that the neighbor? He couldn't get a gift right at Christmas?
Right.
He could never get his gifts right?
I'm talking about overall, when I did my survey, none of the women in my building was buying really nice gifts for their significant others.
I agree. I think we should come up with our own holiday. The day after Thanksgiving is Men's Day. We get gifts.
Black Friday.
It's already taken.
That is too funny. I do have to take it personal.
Okay.
So, when we got into this thing, first it was me and Stacey, and we brought you into the fold, and we had a whole bunch of podcasts lined up. And then somebody, I ain't mentioning any names, somebody at this table was like, I'm going to be at the next podcast with Crispin and Demetrius Paul.
I remember this same person, I know it's not me, kept saying, hey, we need to get them on. Hey, let's book them.
I got even better. I believe she was even there before we got there. So that makes it even. I shouldn't say she. I should say the person.
You weren't saying any names, but now it's a she.
I shouldn't say that. But the person was actually in the building before we got there.
She was.
So
and they asked for her.
They did. And then she didn't call and say she wasn't going to be there. I had to hear that.
I texted you.
I had to hear that from Demetrius.
Yes.
Demetrius was like, something wrong with the car.
Yes.
She had to go
Wait
home.
a minute.
Exactly.
I texted you before. Wait a minute.
I don't think I had.
I did text you that I couldn't be there because John had to go to work and we only had one
vehicle. You said that after.
No,
done.
Before.
Don't make me go to the archives and find out.
I'm going to go to the archives.
It's going to say 5:30 text sent after
But he never
podcast.
responds to anything. Kareem never responds to any text.
That's my MO.
He's petty.
You fly under the radar.
That's my MO.
He's
I look
very
at
petty.
it and I put it down. I say, you know what?
See,
We got a problem. I got nothing to take personal
personal
right now. This is the second podcast we have on health and fitness. We're going to introduce our guests in a minute. And this is the second time you bring in carbonated beverages to a health and fitness podcast.
Well, this time I have an excuse. It's been a long day.
Okay.
All right, so last night I was at the fundraiser for the volleyball-a-thon. That didn't end to 1-something in the morning. So then I had to recoup and then go to the mentoring program at 11. So now I'm here.
Now you're here.
And with this whole health and fitness thing, they don't make fast food that's healthy.
True.
Nothing. Everything has to either be steamed or boiled.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but, well,
You're excused right now. No, you don't have to show me that.
I just had to bring it
Look, 4:45. Our podcast started at 3:30.
February 8th, 2 days before.
Nobody reads that.
I know.
Nobody see that. No, I'm just messing with you. On our previous podcast, we talked about what is it called, playground mentality with Demetrius Poles and Joe Crispin. How did you think that podcast went?
I think it went well. So much that they gave some really good insight on how actual basketball skills are developed, as well as social skills and being able to work as a team. I like the fact that it was like you get cut off the pickup basketball team if you can't play defense and you can't score.
Yeah, you better find your spot.
Yes,
better find your role. That's interesting. So we're keeping with the theme in February on health and fitness, and we have a special guest in the building. Since you weren't here and you texted me 5 hours after the event, would you mind doing the honors of introducing our guest?
Yes, this is Nicole Simonin, and she lives in the same town I do, and her kids go to school with my kids, and that's how we met at basketball. I think mine were in 4th, and
Mackenzie would have been in third.
She's a year behind me, right?
Yep.
They were playing against each other?
They were on the same team.
On the same team. I'm going to be petty off the bat. Whose kid was better?
Oh, Mackenzie.
She's a tough cookie.
She is a tough cookie. Like she
no joke.
Because mine were a little timid, and then I think when there's girls and playing with like a co-ed team, my boys were like not sure where to put. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to go slapping at a girl because they've been told not to put their hands on a
Listen, you step on a court.
But
it's all fair game.
well,
gentleman qualities, right?
but she is aggressive. Mackenzie was aggressive.
Mackenzie is aggressive.
I don't think LeVar is going to be happy with your comments.
No, he's not. No,
he would not be happy.
no, he would not.
So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me here.
Making the journey and agreeing to be on. Again, it baffles me because people don't know us from Adam, and then they, agree to be on these podcasts, and they show up not knowing what to expect. And then some people get scared of it. I have a dog. Don't worry about it. It's going to lick you to death. But he'll make an appearance probably on this podcast. He always does. But welcome, and give us a little bit of background about who you are and what you do.
Well, I started my job because I was home with the kids and pregnant with the kid. Well, one kid, obviously, at the time. And I just was like having mommy brain and just wanted to kind of expand into what get out of just watching Sesame Street. And so I started Shape It Up, which is a fitness company. I've been doing it it'll be 13 years in July, which is...
Shape it up.
Shape it up.
Well, the shape I want to be in is round.
That's what my husband is like. I'm in shape. I'm the shape of a barrel or whatever. Yeah. So I mean, my previous background, I grew up in Pittsgrove, out in Elmer, and I moved away. I swore I'd never come back here, and lo and behold, I met my husband. And I wound up staying, but I was a professional ballet dancer for a number of years. And then I decided I wanted to do something that didn't rely on my body. And I went back to school and became a physical therapist assistant. Then I met my husband, and of course now I'm a trainer, which relies on your body. So, but when I first started Shape It Up, I actually did online training, which was really kind of complicated back then because the technology was not what it is today, even though it was only 13 years ago. And I did boot camps, like Mom Made Me boot camps. I had a studio, and then it's kind of come full circle now. I'm actually doing online training and in-person training, but the technology is so much better today. It's just kind of...
Does it bother you that I'm drinking a soda?
It's your body. You do what you gotta do.
You destroyed it if you want to, is what she basically said.
No, because she keep cutting the eye at me like he's going to keep sipping on this soda.
That's how you going to do it? That is too funny. Let's go back to, I know we're here to talk about Shape It Up, but you had an interesting story about being a ballet dancer, and you're actually probably the first one that I've ever met professionally. So talk about that life. Like, what is... I know off air we were talking briefly, or you and Kareem were talking briefly about it, and how you had to sort of make a living while you were doing it. What was that life like?
Yeah, it's hard because, especially as a girl, whatever professionally, if you're looking for one role or whatever, there's at least 200 to 300 girls after that same role. So it's highly, highly competitive. And I did not dance like New York, that route. I did more smaller studio or smaller companies. But it's tough. You really have to love it. You really have to be passionate about it. And I knew, because I actually went to Radford University. I have a degree in Bachelor of Fine Arts. And I decided to go that route because I just wanted to kind of get a degree because I wasn't quite sure. And then I wound up getting a job down in Annapolis with their ballet company. But it's tough. It's like, I was a bartender, I was a waitress, I did all kinds of odd jobs. I at least had 3 other jobs going. I would teach dance. So you definitely have to love it. But it was the best experience,
Right.
It's so nice to do something that you're passionate about and love. But yeah, it's definitely a tough job. Guys actually have it easier because they don't have enough guys.
You hear that, Kareem?
So you got out there.
I can't. I'm trying to think about myself putting those tights on. That's right there.
Yeah.
The uniform in itself, I say, nah.
Can you wear some shorts over top of it?
Some basketball shorts?
Some guys do.
That is actually Walter Payton used to do ballet, I believe. I was reading a story about him. He used to do ballet, and that's how he was so I guess elusive on the football field.
Yes.
What was that, like a secret?
No, there was a time, actually, I do remember, when football players, that was like the fad thing to do. Like, you know how there was, what is it, Gatorade and then the pickle juice or something they were drinking? At one time, they were taking ballet class because it helps them with agility and flexibility.
Huh.
And they get to lift girls up.
See, Kareem, it sounds like we should test this out with you. Should be interesting.
We'll make them either do pickle juice or ballet.
No, we're not doing pickle juice.
Ballet.
No.
Oh, I hate pickles.
Ballet is the only way to go then.
Okay, so you're trying to say that we need to go and
No. I ain't say we.
just me.
Usually the wrong.
We'll come.
Yeah,
We'll come to
video.
watch.
It'll be funny.
I'm think about that.
He's good.
You said work with my agility. 'Cause
Yes.
we got knocked out the
Flexibility.
playoffs last night, second round, and I wasn't happy at all. We finished third overall.
It's still bothering you. I
It
can
is.
see it in your
It's
face
been
right
bothering me
there.
for about a year. So
It's too funny. So shape it up. You talked about the online fitness training. Explain that a little bit more, and how does that actually work?
So when you sign up to be a client, I actually talk to you on the phone just to make sure, because there's a lot of scams out there. I want people to know that I'm actually a real person. I'm legit. This is not a franchise thing. It's not a scam. So I actually talk on the phone. Sometimes we'll do like a Skype, or so they can actually see me. And then, so I get their goals and I figure out what they want to do, and then I design a plan, and then I have this really cool app that I can design their program. So basically, so if Stacy signed up, she would get a complete workout that I designed, and depending on how I set it up for her, it could actually walk her through the entire thing. So say I give you push-ups and you don't know how to do a push-up, there's actually a video on there of me doing it, so they can click the video, see how they do it. Where I come in and kind of individualize that is not only just the program, but so say Stacy can't do a push-up and she's like, I can't do a push-up. That's okay. And you're not sure if you're doing it right. I have people videotape themselves. They send the video to me, and I'll critique them and say, okay, this is what we need to do. And usually it's a quick video of me going, hey, this is what you need to do. And so it's kind of really taking advantage of the video aspect. But I do phone consults with them to kind of, because it's hard when you're on an app and you could easily be like, I don't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah. And I do a lot of accountability with my clients.
Right.
There are times, actually I get a check-in. So if Stacy missed her workout, I would get a notice saying she didn't do it. If she does do it, I get a notice too. So yeah.
Podcast is working out great. We got Kareem doing ballet. We got Stacey.
I'm working out. Now we got to find you something,
I'm
right?
good. I'm perfect. I don't need anything. I'm all right.
well, here's the other thing. I gotta start thinking about this whole ballet thing because I like my feet. I got pretty feet.
Yeah, I don't have pretty feet.
And I've seen like some of the images of people's feet that do ballet because they wear like those shoes, and I like my shoes too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to switch.
I'll give you an insider secret. Point shoes is what you're talking about.
They were
They're
square or
actually
something.
they're actually 2 sizes smaller than your real shoe.
No, we're not. No.
Oh, didn't you wear those shoes that have blisters and all kinds of stuff?
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
brand.
Those are there.
That was starting the school year off.
Bring them
Brand new shoes trying to break them in.
Yeah. You tape your toes. I mean, you get athletic tape. You tape your
Did I wrap
toes.
them up too?
Well, some people do. It depends on your feet. Yeah, we'll have to talk. I've got a whole strategy for you if you want to avoid blisters.
Boom. We got it. Ballet and workout.
Wearing 2 small shoes.
That's awesome. That's
Sizes,
it.
yeah.
That's on you. So when you first talked about it, I had this vision. Like when I go to the gym, sometimes there's a screen there, and I see people that actually have like the person on there talking to you while you're running on. Do this. I was vision. Like, do you do any live consultations or anything like that?
You mean like actual live workouts that
Yes.
people can follow through? I've thought about it. I don't. I here's what I found is when I did my boot camps, people got results, but when I really switched over to personal training and private training, the results went much better because when you're in, and there's nothing wrong with group training, I just think it depends on the person. But if you're in a group training situation, a lot of times the instructor up front is not a personal trainer. They don't know how to correct you. And especially if you're watching something like a video, they can't obviously come and look at you and see
Right.
what you're doing. But not only that, but a lot of times, like whatever Stacey's, sorry to pick on you,
That's
but whatever your goal is, I take it and I am going to design it all around what you need, not just some general workout.
So what do you need, Stacey?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Apparently push-ups, right?
Well, I do have like a small tear in my shoulder that if it gets impinged, I'm done for a while. But so I try to avoid the push-ups because that kind of stuff is usually what leads to
How you tear your shoulder?
high school. I throw sidearm, unfortunately, for softball and then playing field hockey.
I never got that fixed.
The doctors kind of said it was just a little piece, so they weren't sure how they would be able to fix it.
Just back in '88, they didn't have the technology.
If it doesn't get impinged, it's fine. But if it gets tangled up, I'm in trouble.
So you're telling
for a
me
while.
about doing a push-up, you can tear it.
Not, but it can go. That little tear can get inside of a.
What?
A lot of it's posture. No offense.
Yeah, my
I can
posture
see how
is
you're sitting right now.
Straight-
Yeah,
yeah, straight
See, that's
up.
where the physical therapy comes in.
Straighten up. You making us look bad. Straighten up.
Oh my goodness! You're drinking soda.
My posture's good.
All right.
His insides are rotting, but his posture is good.
It's all about the quality with the outside look. Don't worry about the inside.
I might not live long, but I'll look good.
That look good. That's
You'll
good.
be fermented.
But listen, what do you think of your fitness? Because we talk about this all the
I know,
time.
and I need to get started. I do need to. I start and then I taper off. I don't think I set good goals for
So
myself.
that's what we're saying.
I know.
What do you think what goal do you think you should have?
Minimum, small goals.
Why?
Give us something.
I don't know.
I
agree.
said John's on this full-blown health kick where he's in intermittent fasting. He's cut all his carbs. He's cut most of his sugar down. And he just dropped like 30, 35 pounds in 4 weeks, which I still feel like he's a little extra with it. Like he's going a little too far.
Well,
but he's like,
week they said it's not actual weight, it's water.
It depends on what he's doing. Is he doing like a keto or something?
no,
like that?
he's just
We're
cut
gonna talk about
carbs.
keto.
He's
Who's
cut
keto?
carbs.
We're gonna find
Who's
out.
keto?
Who's keto?
Where you been living under a rock?
Drink
soda.
soda.
I know. Ketos everywhere.
Yeah, keto is a hot thing right now.
What is it? Let's go there. What's going on with keto?
Keto honestly is, hopefully no one will be offended, but it's basically Atkins revisited.
That's
so
what I kind of
if you
thought.
look at all the diets that are out or have been out, South Beach, Mediterranean, Atkins,
We coming out with our own diet.
all kinds of things.
Soda?
The soda diet. There, I actually heard a new one called a mojito diet. So
Oh, I like
yeah,
that.
but basically all those diets have the same thing in common. They're all going to cut your calories. So once you get your calories cut, you're obviously going to lose weight. Now keto, the only good thing I've ever heard about keto is that it's very good for people who have epilepsy. So basically keto, you eat a lot of protein and a lot of fat and very low carbs, like extremely low carbs, like 50 grams of carbs a day, which is not that much.
Is that healthy?
I personally don't think so. If you have epilepsy, then maybe. But so my philosophy, I don't know if you want me to get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
But my philosophy on diets is, yes, they work if you pick one and you plan on doing it for the rest of your life. If you don't, and this is where the problem comes in,
Gotta be consistent.
you got the Wendy's diet going
Be
there.
consistent.
Yeah, you really got to find something that fits into your lifestyle because, how long has your husband been on his thing?
Oh, it's like a month.
Okay. No offense to him, but and I know you were talking about New Year's resolutions before. A lot of people go, yeah, it's January. I'm going to make this big goal and I'm going to do all this. And I'm going to, if you've never gone to the gym and all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to go 6 days a week. And it's kind of like going off to Vegas and getting married to somebody and then,
Like getting married,
you're in the honeymoon phase. And then you wake up.
He's been consistent for longer than that. He's done like a year or something, but he did really kind of fall off a little bit the last, I guess, fall to winter this year. So he's like, I want to start over. And he's like, well, you should start with me. I'm like, I'd rather be fat and eat carbs. I'm sorry. I'm not cutting carbs out of my diet. I can't do it.
So how do you get that consistency? Like, how do you develop that consistency to stick with the diet or exercise routine or anything?
When I work with people, I generally, again, go with what they need. Like, I have a perfect example. Her name's Colleen. She lost 40 pounds, and she came into me, and I was like, here's the deal. This is the template that you have to use for picking out your foods or whatever. I said, if you don't lose weight within that first week or whatever, then you'll have to do a food log. If you don't, if you're consistent, you keep losing throughout, I don't need to see a food log from you. I never saw a food log from that woman. She consistently lost. She's maintained it. She's now 2 years out. She's, I don't want to say she's like 60, but, but she skis. She's very active. She's, and she's maintained it. But, so I think it depends on the person. There's some people that I work with that need like that accountability. Like, I think that's what's missing from when you just take a diet and you apply it, or you have an exercise program and you apply it. You don't have somebody going, hey, Stacy, you didn't do this today, or you didn't, and then you taper off once they get a handle on it.
think the empowerment perspective could be the accountability partner for these people. For everybody. You start falling off.
We going to the house?
We're going to go to the house or call you.
Papa
Like,
that job.
we ain't going to be nice about it, though. So,
Papa, yeah, go to the job.
Yeah.
What you doing?
What you doing? Just pop up on the job. Like, what you doing?
You see the videos. Where's your log at?
You're sitting there sipping on your soda.
Absolutely.
Right?
Where's your log at? Sitting in that chair when they arrive at work.
Yeah. That's
You know you done messed up.
You know you done messed up. Right? That's what it's going to be called. We're going to make an app. You know you done messed up, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the app. That is too funny. So let's talk about your routine, because I'm assuming that I'm gonna be honest here. I have a issue with personal trainers that aren't in shape. Like, how are you gonna tell me to get in shape and you ain't in shape yourself? I went to a presentation the other day and the lady was trying to teach me how to eat correctly, but I was looking at her like, you don't look like you eat correctly.
Like she eat Breyer's ice cream.
All day.
Yeah.
And with soda on top. All day.
Do I need to take my hoodie off to know that I'm in shape?
She's in shape.
I don't know.
I can
We take clothes off.
Hey, it's not that bad kind of podcast.
We're gonna get it kicked off. We're gonna get it kicked off free YouTube.
That's funny. But what's your workout routine?
Honestly, it depends on what I'm focused on. So, like
Talk leg day.
a leg.
You're still trying to get out of
Leg day.
A leg.
leg.
No.
Leg.
She's gonna get us kicked off.
Leg day.
Get us kicked off the air.
I think meant like leg back. Leg back day.
Shape it up. It's not reflective. Yes.
That's funny.
So, again, depending on what my goals are. So, right now, I have a big goal, and I know you were talking about goals. Like, I think you should go big and then make little tiny goals to get you there. So, my big goal, which I've been working on for a while now, and this is, I think, part of with Shape It Up, I know I've been diving into more of the psychology of exercise. And if your brain is not in the right spot or you're not thinking the way you need to think to get that goal, you're not going to get it. So, I have been working on a goal. My goal is to do a fitness contest. And I was on the path really close last year, and then I had some nutritional stuff that came up. So
When you talk about fitness what are you talking about specifically?
bikini contest,
okay.
basically. Like, but not like it's more athleticism. It's not like you have to do flips and stuff like that.
I thought you were talking mud runs and stuff like
I
that.
thought she was talking
obstacle
American
courses.
Ninja. That's where I was going with it.
You should check out I'm going to plug Goliathon. So twice a year we do Goliathon, which is a charity obstacle course race down in Mullig Hill. A lot of fun.
You got video?
Yeah, this is my 11th one. I did 11 of them already.
Quite a few.
I haven't
done
missed
this
one.
before?
No.
You know,
I know where it is. I know people that do it.
So you go and just show up eat Doritos.
No, I didn't even show up.
That's what-
Well, it's good to know that you don't show up to that too. That's good. That's good.
She's not there yet, though.
No. When is this event usually? What time of the year?
There's one in June coming up, and if anybody wants to join my team, you're welcome. And
What are the requirements?
October.
Well, we won't be here, but what are the requirements?
So long story short, it's basically tiered for easy, moderate, and really hard. So some of the American Ninja people do the really hard ones, and literally American Ninja people are doing the obstacles. And then the G1, which is the easy, you can get help from your team. And so literally we could carry you through the entire obstacle.
Oh, I could do
So,
that.
yeah.
I ain't carrying
And-
nobody. You're on your own.
The middle one is you got to do on your own. So
You're your own.
it's a lot of
People
fun.
pick me in there. I remember watching cheerleading contests and somebody get dropped. Like,
Yeah, right. We'll have to look up the information and make sure our audience has that. And it's for a good cause, right?
It is, yeah. It's for charity water. So every year,
charity water.
you never heard of charity water? So basically, they bring water to third world countries.
Instead of soda.
Yeah,
They probably want soda
probably. Well, maybe. I don't know.
along with that water.
I got a long walk to get water, so.
That is interesting. So let's go to goal setting. It seems to be the common theme of these podcasts that we're doing. Will somebody like Stacy, who struggles with goals
And push-ups, yes.
and push-ups, walk us through how we could get her to make good goals and how to obtain those good goals? We can talk about fitness goals.
Well,
Since she's going to be doing...
How would you help Stacy?
how would I help Stacy? First of all, I think whatever her goal is she's the one that has
It ain't
to
about as
decide.
our goal
okay,
for
what
her.
is your We've got him doing ballet.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
figure
Let's
something
get
out.
Stacey.
It's like when you said
we want to get
about
Stacey into a bikini. So
see, Stacey doesn't want to get in a bikini.
it's not about
It's not about her. It's not about her. She wants.
No.
But like your husband said, you should
Get in the
do
bikini.
your
Yes,
goals.
he told me
That's
that.
not your goal. That's his goal for you. Do you know what I mean?
I complain a little bit, like, oh, my jeans are getting tighter, and he's like, you should do this with me. And he's not saying I need to do anything, but
Right.
I don't want to do what he's doing.
But that's
Yeah.
But that's his goal. That's not your goal.
So what do you want to do?
I need to get healthier. I'm not in it for how I look in a bathing suit or anything like that. I know at the age I just need to feel better and have more energy and stuff like that.
Sound like a bathing suit to me.
It may turn into a bathing suit, but
Yeah, and some people need to start off like a little smaller. So what like that? So your goal maybe in to just be healthy is probably a big enough goal for you. Mm-hmm. And then once you get there, and then you go, maybe I'll do something else.
Something else.
then I'll go in that middle course of the Goliathon, then not the one where you guys need to carry me through. I can do it by myself.
I guess the reason I'm asking that question because, like we talked, or you said earlier about the New Year's resolutions. We're now getting to that time of the year when people are starting to fall off. They made these big goals, and we're trying to help them prevent them from falling. Like, what is it about this time of the year that at this time people fall off, and what can they do to kind of get over this hurdle?
Yeah, I think it's that whole, they're all excited, they're all amped up about this diet or whatever they're doing, exercise program, and then, reality kind of sets in and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is hard. Because it's hard to lose weight. It's hard to lose inches, and it's hard to make a commitment.
It's not supposed to be.
Unless you really, really want it. You know what I mean? Your goal has to be bigger than your soda. Your goal has to be bigger than the donuts or whatever you're eating.
I like donuts.
Yeah. So I think that's really where it comes into, and it's choices. I mean, where you are today is what you've been doing currently. So in order to go somewhere else, you have to change what you're doing currently, because it's like that insanity saying, doing the same thing over and over. Definition of insanity.
And it's hard, I think, too. The results come slow when you're doing it. So I think people are so into, like, everything's right here. Everything's at your fingertips anymore. When you put all that hard work into something and you're not really seeing the return yet, I think that gets discouraging for a lot of people.
I think you get to a certain point and you plateau, and then you you might lose weight initially, but then you need to change your course to continue that. Like some of that, you might change your routine up a little bit. I think people think if I just do this, you might, I'm going to reach this goal, and at some point you'll just be like, I just can't lose any more weight, or I just can't get, the extra rep in or whatever it is. Then you need to kind of change what you're doing, your approach to it. I think that's important as well.
I think too, like, if you ever look at diets or programs, they're all 12-week programs. Automatically in 12 weeks, you're supposed to get to your goal weight, and that's it, and you're done. And then you can do whatever you want. And it doesn't work like that. It's like, I always tell my clients, it might not be 12 weeks. Some people might. Some people, I have some people that are in their third year, and it's just they, ebb and flow. They get through, drop a little, gain a little.
I believe that obtaining success is easy. Maintaining it is the hard part. So when you get to that goal, maintaining it really becomes the challenge. You work so hard to get there, you kind of put your guard down at some point, like you said. And it's like, I can go out there and drink soda and
Go to Wendy's.
And all of that stuff. So,
Sugar cookies.
Sugar cookies are good, though.
They are good.
But see, you talk about a lot of junk food. You can fit that into your foods.
I do. No,
I know. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. You can fit it into a fitness and healthy lifestyle. You don't have to eat like rabbit food.
Well, I think that's important too, because people think it's black and white. Like, I got to stop doing all of this in order for the, to
I
get to
just
that
said that
point.
because people say that's why most diets fail, because they try to go cold turkey.
Yeah, well, I think we also have the perfectionist mentality. Is if it can't be perfect, then why bother? Do you know what I mean? Like,
This,
yeah, because if you ever, perfectionists are like, if it's not 100%, if I can't give every day, if I can't do this, then
I can't drink this every day. Every single day, this is all I'm going to have? No.
I think that's the one thing that when I lost a few pounds a few years ago, and I've been able to keep them off, that this was the saving grace throughout the whole thing, that I've only gone back up like between 5 pounds. I'm able to get that off and kind of stay where I'm at, that we cut out all the soda, all the diet soda, all the, like, anything flavored. We do flavored water, but that's been my...
Flavored water.
I'll have a soda every now and again, but not like we used to.
Your taste buds change though once you switch your eating habits. Like if you went, not that you're going to do this. But if you went completely bland for like a couple months and then you added in the stuff that you were eating that you think was bland before will taste phenomenal.
No.
I know. You got to wrap your head around that. But
I'm not believing that.
again, that's not your goal,
No, I'm not
right?
that.
So
I'm not believing that. No.
So who is your main audience, your core audience for your organization?
I focus on women over 40.
I am
You
a woman over 40.
qualify.
I do. I qualify.
Yeah, it's not that I don't see other people at different ages and even men. I tend, because I have a business that I work out of my house for guys, I only train guys that are either the husbands of women that I'm training or somebody I know, just because of the, them coming into the house. And
Makes sense.
But
So let's talk about the business side of this thing, because we are starting to do more business development for people, and I think when people get into entrepreneurship, they think they're in love with the product, but they forget about the other side of things,
Yeah.
and that's really where the real game is being played on the other side. So walk us through some of your headaches and things in the process that you went through from a business perspective from the beginning to where you are now.
So the beginning, I was definitely wide-eyed, like, yeah, this is awesome. This is so easy. And I learned a lot of mistakes. There's somebody that I'm following, and they always say fail forward. So in other words, you want to fail a lot, but you want to fail in a sense that you're moving forward. So you show up, you do what you got to do, and you put yourself out there, but you're still failing. So I have learned a lot over the years. And I would say in the past, 3 years, when my business kind of shifted, and probably a maturity thing too, and I could focus a little bit more because now my kids are a little bit older. But yeah, it's challenging because, I'm the trainer, so I'm the employee. And then when they're done, then I'm on the computer and I'm doing marketing. I'm doing, PR stuff. I'm doing blog posts and I have a YouTube channel and stuff like that. So yeah, it's
a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, I think too, again, it's amazing how business goals and fitness goals and even financial goals, they all kind of fall in the same category. They all follow the same path. You gotta set a goal for your business. And then what are you gonna do to get to that goal?
Right.
And,
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are reaching out to us about starting podcasts and things of that nature. And I'm like, that's great. I said, but you got to look at the business side of this thing. And no one sees that. No one sees, takes time to edit these things and put it about marketing. You need money to market your stuff and then your target audiences and then never mind the taxes and liability and all that stuff. I mean, we can go on for days about that, but it's not for everybody. And everybody, the space of podcasting is getting crowded, just like the space of personal training is crowded. What separates everyone is that business side, really. At the end of the day, we're all talking relatively the same stuff. But what's going to separate you from competitors and those things?
Well, I think it's you. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one else, there's no other Stacy. There's no other. So even though, I'm a trainer and my background definitely helps, I think, separate me, but I'm the only me, and I used to have a studio and I had trainers and they were wonderful and great, and you try to give them, okay, this is the format I want you to do, but they're not going to do it like how I would do it, and that's not an egotistical thing, it's just that's just the fact, so I think even though there are a lot of trainers out there, everybody has their different thing, and finding your niche, whatever you want to call it. I think that's where it differentiates. But I mean, as far as you're saying, there's a lot of personal trainers out there. My big thing that you were talking about pettiness. I don't know if this falls into that spot, but there are a lot. So I don't know if you know, but to become a personal trainer, literally, you can go online, you can take a test, pay your money, and you are a trainer.
Do marriages now? You just go online.
Take
That's another service we can provide.
Wedding vows. Mr. Petty doing your wedding vows. There's my marketing contribution, buddy. Perspective.
Now you got me thinking about side hustle. Now wait a minute.
No, not side hustle. You got to wear the sweatshirt, Mr. Petty. You got to go out there.
That's funny.
So I can do marriages.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting. You may get on that. And so instead of ballet,
You could be
go
done
get-
that by tonight.
Yeah.
You could have that all done by tonight, and
Do
your
it in an hour.
certificate will be.
And watch the All-Star Weekend
You could probably do it well before
at the same time.
At the same
and
time.
stop at Wendy's on the way home and grab another
Soda.
You plenty of time. I heard it's not that long.
Yeah, okay.
Is it the same with personal training that you can just kind of?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so you really have to be careful who you're, hiring, because there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of, I don't want to just say girls, but this is the only thing that comes to mind. But if you look at Instagram, there's a lot of women, young ladies, whatever you want to call, that have done like a bikini contest, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I got this. And they might not have been the one training themselves.
Right.
They probably got somebody to train them.
Right.
But that's a whole nother topic with the bikini contest, because there's a lot of wrong things that they do to get that look. And I think when people look at those pictures on Instagram and they go, oh yeah, no, that's probably not
Are you
healthy.
saying that they cheating? Is that what you're implying?
Well, I mean, there are some, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
Photoshop. But like, don't get me started on before and after pictures too, because a lot of them are, Photoshop. I know for a fact there's some that they do where the after picture is taken first, where they're lean, and then they go eat a bunch of food, and they probably go to Wendy's. Am I allowed to say Wendy's?
Yeah, shout out to
Sorry,
Wendy's.
sorry. Yeah, Wendy's. Yay. Sorry. And then they eat a lot of food and puff up, and then they take their before picture. So you never know. You don't know. I mean, in today's technology, you don't know what's real and what's not real, which is kind of frightening.
I've seen a lot of companies actually steal people's pictures that I personally have seen for something else and slap it on like their brand and their company and showing their results. And I'm like, wait a minute, she never did that program, so it makes it very easy for people to just steal your picture and use it as their own. And
speaking of stealing stuff, my wife told me that B101 is now on this empowerment kick. So I think I'm gonna start coming for my money soon. Because if I hear "Stay Empowered" coming from B101, we gonna show up at your doorstep.
And I'm cold. Can you guys hurry?
So how can people get in contact with you from Shape It Up?
You can go to the website. It's shapeitupfitness.com, and you can reach me there.
All right. What's the next goal for your organization, your company?
I got quite a few goals. So I want to do the contest, which is it's business related, but it's not business related. I really want to do more of the online clients. So that's really been my push lately. I have a great group of women that I see in person. I do have a few online. But, that's really what I want to do. I want to help a lot of people. I do have some things coming up. I'm actually toying with the idea of doing Facebook Lives every week. Because, as a business person and being a solo entrepreneur, I only have so much time to have for clients. So the people that, I can reach globally would be ideal. And, nowadays with the technology we have, it's amazing that you can reach, people all over the place. So it's pretty cool.
True. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to Denmark and all those other people that listen to us.
So I have a question. How hard is it to teach dance? I want to go back to your profession, your original profession.
It's not. I love teaching dance. I love teaching the high school age students. I love the little kids. They were cute, but I love little kids, but I could only take so much time. You know what I mean? Like an hour, I'm good. Let's go on to the bigger kids, because the bigger kids got the concepts a little bit more, and I could give them more extravagant steps and choreography to do. So
how long are you talking about you can teach them something? About 40 minutes, you think?
What, the older kids?
Teach a dance move, yeah.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. You're talking about just a dance move or a class? Like I would teach, the way ballet usually is, it's a 90-minute class, and then you go in and do your choreography and stuff like that. So
can you do it in 45?
It's hard. There's a lot you gotta do. It's a whole curriculum. Have you ever taken karate or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say karate. No. I used to take karate, but karate and ballet.
I used to get hit by belts.
Well, they don't hit you with the belt. But karate and ballet are very similar as far as structure and kind of just the way they do things a little bit. Like everything has a reason that you do it, and it's interesting.
Can you teach them to stand on their toes in 45 minutes?
No, because it depends on the age of the child. I think. People are going to shoot me. Some of the studios around here are like...
Are you dropping
I just have my own opinions.
You need to call the police because you keep telling me to shot.
I have my own opinions, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I feel like a lot of the dance studios around here, they put people on point, which is when you're standing on your toes way too early. Yeah, or that, not that it's early, their feet have not developed the way they should. Because again, it's like a trainer. You can open up a dance studio, whether you have a background in dance or not. And I feel there's a certain amount of curriculum that you need to go through in order to strengthen your feet and to be able to stand on your toes. And also, unfortunately, it's a weight issue too, because if the dancer is heavier, they're going to damage their feet when they're younger. So,
Yeah, my feet would be messed
there's
up.
a lot of...
You gonna show us your feet?
Too much weight.
You gonna show us your feet?
Yeah, but so
because they already messed up. You ain't got nothing to lose.
My feet aren't that bad.
Okay.
But
No,
they'd
we're
be
not
messed
pulling
up
our feet.
like...
Y'all did that before the podcast. We're not pulling our feet. Feet are disgusting.
Yeah, I agree. I don't...
What about the little spin move? Can you teach that in 45 minutes?
I can teach you to do a pirouette, yeah.
No, not me. No.
I thought we go. I'm about to set up the camera. We're going to do that.
It depends on the person. It depends on, like their structure of their body and how well they can adapt to turning their head. You know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of factors. So, for me to generally say that, yes, I probably could, but it depends on the person.
Sounds like you're ready to do a workshop.
But again, I haven't done ballet in
Don't
so
worry
many
about
years.
it.
I told you.
You
He
can
could
sit
read
back.
you like a book.
Yeah, listen, you can sit back and you relax, drink soda, and you can just coach.
No, I don't like soda.
That's okay. We'll give you some flavored water.
I don't like flavored water. It's either coffee or water.
All right.
Sometimes iced tea.
Hazelnut?
Yes. I like
Okay.
hazelnut.
All right.
That was a good guess.
Yeah, hazelnut cream.
Impressive.
I'm lactose intolerant, so I have to go the almond
Almond
roots.
milk?
Yeah. Which I found a great creamer that I love.
What are you using?
It's called Califia. Califia.
Stacey?
I've never heard of that
Or
one.
it's in
Okay.
ShopRite. It's good. It's got the creaminess because like a lot of times when you order or you get non-dairy or whatever, it's very watered down. This has got like a thickness to it, so it gives it a little bit more creamy flavor. And
What
there's no
about
sugar.
that milk that's lactose?
Lactate.
Yeah, what is that?
Lactate.
Is that good? Or
Well, it's just milk and then they put lactate in it. So like I don't really drink regular milk anymore. I used to as a child. I used to drink milk like it was going out of style. But no, I don't really drink like straight glasses of milk. I'll put almond milk in my protein shake. But again, it's
There is a difference.
Let's talk about the
Yeah.
protein shakes.
sure.
What's the benefit? Like I see, I went to the
weight
gym
stuff?
today.
You talking about the
Well,
weight
no,
stuff?
I went to the gym today, and there's a protein shake bar type thing. The line was like long, whatever, and I'm like. And then I'm looking at these people again. They look the way that they look. No disrespect to them, but
They have way too many shakes.
Yeah, like they had way too many
Like they had
shakes.
all kind of milkshakes.
Right. So I went one day. I was like, and they gave me all these options. I was like, I just kind of just want a shake. Like I don't, you know what I mean. So what's the benefit? Or I guess they're using it as a supplement. Would be
Yeah,
my
I
guess.
think it's like anything. I think once the money starts rolling in for anything, people are like, "Ooh, well, let's just go off on a tangent and do smoothie shakes and all this stuff." But I think just be careful. Like a lot of them add a lot of fruit in, which fruit in itself is good. But when you start throwing in 6 bananas and a handful of strawberries and blueberries, the sugar count goes way up, and you don't want to have that much sugar. In general, and so that's where it kind of comes in. But as far as actual protein powder, you need protein in order to build muscle. So if you're not getting enough protein, you're not building muscle. And I know the ladies usually don't think that they need to, get muscle, but you really do. That's
Would
like
that
the fountain of
fix,
youth.
shoulder tears as well. So you can
It actually, well, depending, you'd have to strengthen up different areas of your shoulder. But yeah, a lot of times, like when people have knee problems, if you strengthen up your quads, a lot of times the knee problems get better because you're actually now using the muscles as they should be rather than putting a lot of weight on the joint.
What exercise will fix Stacey's shoulder? Gradually.
I don't know. I'd have to actually look
Okay.
and see.
You have to get your
I can
MRI.
tell you posture wise.
I've had my MRIs and
It's
stuff.
in your pocket?
No, I don't have it in my
You
pocket.
just said you have it.
I have had them done. I
Oh.
don't have them on my person. Sorry.
You didn't know we were doing
You
this.
just
No, I
carry
did not.
MRI.
I need to know my medical
Let me pull
history.
my MRI.
Look at this.
What in the world is that? That is funny. Go ahead.
So the protein,
Yes.
is it good to have the whey powder before or after a workout? Where you get the most benefits?
It depends. So, like, when I work out in the morning, a lot of times I'll just do a protein shake. I don't do whey because it's it's got dairy in it. But so I will
What are you
do.
using for people?
I actually use it's a pea protein based product, which is the other alternative to whey protein.
Okay.
So, so if I work out like this morning, I worked out and instead of going downstairs, eating a meal, and then waiting for an hour to go work out, I get a protein shake and I just drink it gives me enough to get through the workout, and then I move on with the day. There was a time where they were saying there's a certain window after your workout where you
30
need,
minutes or something like that,
yeah,
right?
it's 30 to an hour.
They told me 30 minutes, you can eat whatever you like.
Oh no, that's not the same window we're talking about.
Is that what they said, or is that what you heard?
That's what people say.
You might have misheard them.
People say as soon as you finish working out, your body's going to burn off everything. Just go ahead and whatever you like.
Now, usually there's a window between 30 minutes to an hour is what they're saying is where, and it is true to an extent, but it's not the protein so much, it's the sugar. So that is and don't take this and run with this, but this is the ideal time that you can have simple sugar. So simple sugar means fruits.
Keep going.
I know some people have gummy bears.
Keep going.
So that window, but you have
Butter
to.
butters, absolutely. Keep going.
You actually have to exhaust the glycogen levels in your muscles during your workout in order for that to benefit you. So you can't just like do some easy workout and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have donuts and
He's coming in with a tray of sugar cookies.
Yeah.
As soon as he's done.
It's going to be in the car waiting for me while I'm driving.
Can't skip leg day is what she's trying to say.
Actually, leg day is a great day for having your after because our legs are our biggest muscle.
You gotta rethink it.
All right, now when is the best time to do leg day? Because they told me Monday is the best day for leg
It
day.
doesn't matter.
Well, they say because
As long as you do it.
they say you get it out the way and then you can work on other parts of the body.
What do you have against leg day?
Yeah, I don't know. Monday's got this like magical effect, I think most people think, because that's the day you start your diet. That's the day, you know, you go back to the gym.
I don't work out on
my
Monday.
diet.
What's that?
My diet doesn't stop. It's every day. Same thing.
So there's no good day to do, like, it depends on your personality. Like, I don't mind leg day sometimes. So like when I structure my workouts, like right now I'm doing a 4-day split. So I'll do like back and bi the first day because I'm excited about, like, I like back and bi. And then it'll be legs. And then it'll be chest, triceps, and shoulders. And then I'll have another leg. Now for me, I need to work my legs because that's
Trying
like
to fix
my...
your feet? Is that what you're
No, my feet aren't going to be fixed. They're staying the way they are. So it doesn't matter. As long as, you know, you're doing it, it doesn't matter what day you do
You
it.
cannot skip leg day. You can't get out.
Yeah, you have to do leg day, but it doesn't matter whether it's on Monday, Saturday, Sunday.
What if it snows?
You can work out at
He's been
home.
praying for snow every Monday.
Work out at
a
home.
blizzard Sunday night.
Are there certain muscle groups you should be working together on your workout?
There are some clients, like even family members, they're like, oh, I worked out at the gym and I went to this machine and I went to that machine. And I was like, there's actual reasons why you program your workout the way trainers do. So if you're a newbie, you know, you want to do more compound exercises, which means you're using more muscles rather than isolation, which is like bicep curls and stuff like that. So like squats with a shoulder press is a good compound exercise. It also gets your heart rate going a little bit more. But so again, it depends on what phase you're in. Like if you're brand new or if you've worked out before and you haven't worked out in a couple of years, you know, you're going to be in that phase, or whether you're more advanced. So it just really depends on where you're at.
Leg day.
Working out on leg day. That's interesting.
So one last question. Now, pull-ups. Is it beneficial to do more pull-ups and less dips? Like, or should you even it?
What is your goal?
I want to go Chick-fil-A.
You don't need push-ups or dips for that. Oh, it might be a chicken dip.
The consistency.
It really depends on your goal. I mean, if you're trying to, like, most people have a goal to do pull-ups, not to do dips, from what I've heard. But tricep dips, you got to be careful of the angle of your shoulder, depending on what you're doing.
She pointed at me.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Pull-ups, you know, if you're doing a pull-up with an assisted machine, again, it depends on where you're at. So, I think if you're going to focus on one, I would do pull-ups because it's more nicer to your body, but tricep dips are fine too.
Interesting. Okay. Now, what about, from what they're telling me, is that if you have to
Who's
work...
they?
I was saying the same thing.
I have my sources. So they say you should have sort of like, I guess, like a pull down and then a neutral and then another way, I guess, a push down to be able to make sure that you're working the same muscle and be able to get the growth? Like it's 3 different
Oh,
dimensions.
so you mean like different angles of the muscles? Yeah. So take for instance like your pecs, right? Your chest muscles. So you want to do a chest press. You can do flies. You can also do a close grip. So basically, you're changing the angle of the pull of the muscle. So if you've ever seen anatomy with the muscles and the way they're all set up, it's basically pulleys and levers. So yeah. So depending on what part of your pecs you want to hit, especially for guys, you can angle it a little bit different to get a different effect, but you still have to be able to, you have to do certain reps and everything like that. But really the key, like if you're looking for your pecs to show through, you got to decrease your body fat. So you can, like, I always joke because, some women are like, I don't have abs. You do have abs. You have a six-pack. None of there. They're just hidden. Yeah. So we all have six-pack abs. Just depends on how much body fat's on top
I
of them.
prefer to hide mine. That's all.
Take that blanket off.
Yeah.
It's cold out there.
It's cold.
It's cold in Alaska.
That is interesting. One of the interesting facts that when I think I texted you one day and just to confirm, and then she was like, I'm actually watching the podcast while I'm on. I was like,
Which one were you?
The last one with the trainer Melanie. Was that one? Yeah. Actually, something popped up on Stacy's Facebook thing, and I was like, "Oh, I'll watch it." And I was going on the treadmill, and ironically enough, you text me, and I was like, "How funny is it that I'm watching this podcast and you're texting me like to make sure I'm
that's how
coming
connected I am to my
we're on the
stuff.
same
Like, it goes
wavelength.
out there. But any last word? First of all, again, give the people the website.
It's shapeitupfitness.com.
All right, any last words of wisdom for anyone that's out there trying to get their stuff together from a fitness standpoint?
I would say, whatever your goals are, really dive into why you want to do them and focus on that, and don't let anything stand in your way, because there's a lot of, like, as soon as you make a goal, all of a sudden your brain's like, you're not doing that. You know what I mean? And it starts talking to you like, what are you thinking? You can't do that. Once you get past all that, and that's all the mindset stuff, you'll get there. You just got to be patient and just keep plugging along, because it's a lifelong journey. It's not like a 12-week program and then you're done. It's something you have to do for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
So if you want to drink Coke and soda the rest of your life, that's fine. Just fit it into your
It's here for a
workout.
reason.
What reason is that?
It tastes good.
Yeah, but just because it tastes good doesn't mean you have to drink it.
That's exactly what it is. It tastes good.
Hey,
Drink it.
being healthy and not being on diabetes and medicine when you're older is also really good too.
It's overrated. You're gonna be on some medication.
You're a tough cookie.
You're gonna be on somebody's
His
medication.
ways.
I have to say, I did bring you some apples today because I was waiting for you
Apple
to pull.
pie?
No, I was waiting for you to pull out your bag of Doritos.
I left those things.
And I ate them.
You ate them?
I was like, yo, I'm
There you go.
eat them.
Now, what kind of apples?
It's just regular. I brought you one too.
Oh, thank you.
They're all washed and ready to be eaten.
I
You
like
didn't
it.
want to like dip it in like
Caramel.
candy?
We're getting all kinds
Candy
of gifts
apples? You
today.
didn't want to make candy apples?
Candy apples.
Why not? You don't like candy apples?
No. I don't like, I'm weird. I don't like candy stuff. Like,
mean, I
see,
had
that's
a
another
whole
thing
bag
with
of candy
Valentine's Day
last
you're
night.
talking about. I don't like chocolate.
I'm allergic, so we're on the same page. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I think flowers are a waste of money, to be honest
I
with you.
agree.
I
If
agree.
you're going to get me flowers, give me fake ones and they'll last longer.
Do you still have your flowers from your wedding?
No.
I left mine
I
at
don't
the
think so.
florist. They did the whole drying thing. I never went and picked
What?
them up.
Yeah,
They're
I
probably
kinda
down there
think-
somewhere. I didn't preserve my
Some
dress.
face costs?
Oh,
I didn't do
See, I
anything.
didn't preserve my dress. It's hanging in the closet, and I really
Mine's-
should get it cleaned.
My wife is in there too. Yeah.
Mine's in the basement, and mine was dirty from the bottom.
yeah,
like
the
dancing
bottom
and stuff.
was,
Mine
yeah.
I wasn't having
You didn't get like the break off, where so you can.
No.
Oh.
I didn't do the 4 changes of the dress, and
No, I didn't do that.
one dress was enough.
Yeah, really.
All that
You guys don't
preparation
Sound, yeah, but
and
you guys don't sound happy about this day.
No, I just
I had the best
no,
day.
it was. I just
Awesome.
didn't do the afterwork. I didn't know you were supposed to preserve your dress and keep your flowers. And the florist called me and they're like, "Your flowers are done." I'm like, "What flowers?" They kept them and they dry them out for you. And I never went and got them.
Why do they dry them out?
I don't know.
So you could observe them.
I guess that's what you just asked her if she still had them. And
So what? Then you like when you die, they put them over your casket.
Probably.
that's it. Sprinkle them out.
Them free. That's leaving to take my whole life.
That's too funny. Stacy, so we're going to get you on this program for sure.
Yes, gonna fix that shoulder.
all right.
We're going to fix that shoulder, put you on the program. Any last words for our listeners?
I think with all the goal setting talk we've been having, trusting the process, we have to start trusting the progress too a little bit. Like When you're working out and doing anything like that, even other goals, nothing comes right away. You have to put the time in, you have to put the work in, and realize that you're just going to get it in small chunks at a time until you really start moving and going in the direction you need to go.
Mr. Petty.
No shortcuts.
No shortcut.
No shortcuts.
Got to do leg day.
Well, leg day as well as you have to be petty all the time. No shortcut. Just be petty. There's no shortcut. Right?
Snow day.
Yeah,
Snow
it's
day.
too funny. I think the common theme with all these podcasts that we've been having is discovering your why. If you don't have your reason of why you're doing things, it's going to be so easy to fail. I talked about it in my book. We talk about it on the podcast. In all our presentations, we talk about having a why. So the number one step to doing anything in life, whether it's business, whether it's, from a fitness standpoint or emotional, like, you have to have a reason why you're doing it, because it's going to get tough. You're going to have setbacks and failures. Success is not a linear process. It's more like a bowl of spaghetti. You're going to keep going up one day and then back down the next day. But it's your why that pushes you through those tough times. So remember that. Develop it. Call the Empowerment Perspective. We can help you with developing your why for sure. And it's going to change. Your why is going to change as your life circumstances change, as it should. So I'm about to go eat this apple, but shout out to Innovative School Summit.
Yes.
Coming down there. Again, I keep plugging it out there for you educators in Atlanta. June 18th through the 21st. I think we're presenting on the 19th, our 3-hour presentation, and then we have a couple of breakout sessions. I believe Stacy's going to come down and see what we do. There's businesses out there, too. We do business development programs, leadership programs. We can do pretty much anything. Yeah. So just call us.
Teachers, we got something new that we have developing in store for you guys.
We got a couple things for you.
Yes.
Our literacy program's coming. Our financial literacy program's coming. That's coming along. We're super duper close with that. But we got something for you teachers. We're not going to let the cat out the bag just yet, but we're developing it and, hopefully getting you to a position where you can be empowered.
Absolutely.
Outside of being a teacher. I think that's it. Next podcast I think we have a call in from Colorado, so I'm trying to work on that too. Our last fitness one for the month of February, and then we're going to move into hopefully music. I think music and art. That's how about deal with those things. So if anybody that's out there that's a musician or artist want to be on there and get your work promoted, come check us out. We're about helping people and using our network to get your word out there. Again, it's not about us, it's about you, and we're trying to give you the most impactful information that we possibly can. So until next time, as always, stay empowered.